What's going on, fam? Welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to review a pair of boots that is not even available yet on mass market. This is the brand new Nike Phantom GX. And I am genuinely blown away at what this football boot is, how they look. I am so excited. Let's just hop. I don't actually have a box or a string bag. Unique Cleats sent these to me all the way from Europe. So huge thank you and shout out to him for getting me to these. Go check out his page. It is fantastic. He's got all of the latest and greatest boots, including something like this, which is a pre-release. I believe these were only supposed to be worn in the World Cup. They were going to do like a special release of them, and then at the last minute they decided not to. And I managed to get my hands on a pair of them, which is insane, guys. It's insane. So these boots are the successor to the Phantom GT. You can tell my face is literally hurting from smiling so much because these boots are unbelievable. This pair of football boots is like beyond gorgeous, and they're in my blue color, my brand blue color, which is so cool. So there's a couple different things that I want to go over with these football boots from a tech perspective. I don't actually know really much about the tech of these football boots, but I did want to go over the things that I can visually see, as well as some of the things that I expect to feel when they're on feet and all that stuff. So let's start off with the sole plate. So the sole plate is completely new for this generation of boot. It is a very cool sole plate, including conical studs in the back, the midfoot, and sort of right here, 3 in the midfoot there. You've got these crazy looking star, like triangle star shaped studs here in the back of the boot. And then on the lateral side here, 2 chevron studs in the forefoot, and then of course the extra one, this little stud right there. So this is the FG model, and what I'm seeing here is a focus on rotational energy and then also lateral and forward stability. So you're going to be able to go forward with these and side to side, which is also a super cool thing. This sole plate is very snappy. As you can see, it's very snappy. It does a really good job at kind of getting enough cushion in the right area and then getting back to a pretty flat. As you can see, it's a pretty flat boot. There's not a lot of arch like something like an Asics boot or even something like a Carbitex insert from Adidas. So these are just a very interesting this is a very interesting sole plate to me, especially because we've seen conical studs before. That's not a new thing. We've seen these chevron studs, but the new thing for the Phantom series, and the Phantom series in previous generations has often focused on lateral movement, and these star studs feature something similar on the Mercurial Vapor 15 and Superfly 9, the new generation of the Vapor. So I'm wondering if, with all the positive feedback from those and people loving that stud pattern, I wonder if these boots will do a really good job at getting a lot of different types of mobility as a boot goes. So on all different types of surfaces, you're going to be able to get a ton of traction moving forward, cutting backwards, cutting side to side, all that stuff. So that's kind of the sole plate. It does feature this X pattern on the midfoot here, probably to provide some stability. There's really no, as you can see, there's like a tiny bit of give there, but it really is solid through that midfoot area. So that's something to consider as well. Now let's talk about the upper. So the upper, as you can see, is completely redesigned. It looks very similar shape-wise to the Phantom GTs and the Hypervenom Phantom 3s. I know a lot of people really love the Hypervenom Phantom 3s, and these definitely look a lot more like a GT than they do a Phantom 3, but I still do think the general shape of them is really cool. So on the side here, you'll see hopefully the camera picks it up, it says Nike Grip Knit, and I can tell you from feeling this upper, by the way, unbelievably soft out of the box. Like, hopefully this camera is picking this up. That is mega soft straight out of the box. This whole blue area right here, from here all the way around into the back of the heel. This is what's called grip knit, and grip knit feels, the entire upper feels really waxy almost. So it's got this really nice grip texturing, and I'm super curious to know what that's gonna feel like on the ball. I'm sure this is gonna be super helpful in having grip in wet conditions, and what it really does feel like is the little, kind of the little balls, I guess, or texturing pattern that's on the Phantom Ultras. So the Phantom Ultras feature, I think it's a different technology, but it definitely feels very similar to just the sensation, like the waxy feeling of this. So if you've ever had a Phantom Ultra, this is like that, but across the entire upper and a little bit more smooth. So it's just a little bit rough here on the upper, but not crazy. Underneath that, you've got this white knit material here, which is seems to be a very similar knit to that Flyknit Ultra. So it very much feels like a cross between the sort of the tongue area of a GT2 and Hypervenom, and then also the Flyknit Ultra. And it feels, especially if you can see kind of where the detailing, you've got this thicker piece of knit here, and then it moves into this collar area just where the laces are that's a little bit thinner. I expect that's just for more stretch in that collar area, kind of where my finger's poking out. But in this area here, it's a lot thicker. It's not thick like QUE or CCC, right? Thick CCC. But this is a little bit thicker material, as you can see there, on kind of that upper part, but like above the blue here in that white. So it's like a thicker, more closely knit woven material, which actually follows the idea of the Phantom Ultra and Flyknit Ultra really, really well. You've got the logoing of the Phantom GX here on the heel area. That's pretty cool. I really like this GX logoing here. I think it's really cool. There's some really nice detailing. It probably won't pick up on camera, but there's some really nice detailing in the logo that almost, here, actually the Nike swoosh right here, hopefully. Focus, please. Hello, friends. Thank you. Okay, hopefully hopefully you can see that. So that little black swoosh, you see how there's those tiny little ridges in there? So that it almost looks like a thumbprint, like a unique thumbprint type groove in the pattern that it is. And that's the same patterns that's on this Phantom GX logo back here, which is kind of a cool touch. I love the design of this football boot. I think it looks so cool. I love the fact that they did like an outline with the little black swoosh. Pink and blue always looks really nice, especially with the white. This is obviously, for obvious reasons, the low cut variation. The other thing to mention about this grip knit technology piece is that it actually is right here. Hopefully you can see that. There we go. So if I go there, there's an extra piece of, the lacing system actually goes down. See where my finger is? So my finger is almost a good, like probably inch and a half. Lacing system goes down to about there, which actually is super advantageous, because what that does is it allows you to get a much more customizable fit through that kind of the hot spot for a lot of people, which is right in this like knuckle area of the forefoot. So I'm hoping that what that's gonna do is this will provide some structure, this grip knit, and then the knit underneath will give you a little bit of structure. Something that you might be thinking is like, well, if the grip knit lays on top of the regular knit, isn't it super, super thick and annoying? And the answer is absolutely not. These are very, very thin. As you can see, they're so thin out of the box. And it really does give you this insane softness that I've really only seen in Phantom Ultra and Hypervenom Phantom 3. So that's super, super cool. The heel counter does look a little bit thicker than the Phantom GT2. So it's a very similar heel construction. As you can see there, it's a very similar heel construction to that Phantom GT2, but it is something that I don't think I will have too much issues with. I'm hoping that they fix the sizing as well. So I'm hoping that the last is a little bit shorter than the GT2. I did find that that one ran like a quarter size long. So that's just something to consider. Other than that, this boot, tech spec wise, I'm really not sure what this tech spec is gonna look like when it comes out. This hopefully gives you a good like first impression of these boots. I think these are absolutely insane. I am so excited to try these on feet. So without further ado, let's hop into the on feet portion of the video. We'll get some touches on the ball. I'll really explain how they fit and feel on feet. Of course, maybe talk about what they feel like compared to a Phantom Ultra and a Phantom GTs and Hypervenom Phantom 3s, and kind of make sure we get all of those T's crossed and I's dotted, if you will. So let's hop into the on feet portion of this Phantom GX.
All right, fam, we are out here in the freezing cold. It is freaking 30 degrees outside, and I have nothing on underneath this. So I've got like a t-shirt and the kit and nothing. But we're out here with the amazing, the exceptional, the brand new, unreleased Phantom GX. I smile every time I see these. We're just gonna hop into the on feet portion of the video because I cannot wait to try these on. They're unlaced, they're ready to go. Let's do this. Okay, so there we go. Get you guys a good view of it as well. And a little bit tough. Oh, no way. Wow, okay. These are crazy. Oh my goodness. Oh, that's so good. Okay, so initial impressions are they fit a little bit long. That's kind of a bummer. They fit a little bit long. Who knows if I'm sure they'll break in and be just fine, but they fit a little bit long out of the box. They're not as like, see if you can see that, just a tiny, tiny bit, about a quarter thumb's width. Tie those up. Oh my days, ladies and gentlemen. These are crazy. Okay, we'll get the other one on as well. They are really tough to get on. I'm not sure, maybe that's this like textured upper that's on there, the grip knit, if you will. Oh, my hands are also freezing, so that's probably why it's so difficult. There you go. Okay, tie these tight, and I can definitely feel as I'm tying these lower laces, the laces under here really get snug as well, which is an awesome sensation. So very, very cool. Holy cow, guys, these are crazy town. I am so excited to be able to try these on. Width straight out of the box is no issue for me. You guys know I have pretty wide feet. I actually got them measured and like put together in a 3D scan the other day, and they're considered like medium wide feet. So I guess I always have struggles with wearing boots that are thinner, especially because as I run, I tend to strike first like this. And so the outside of the boot always has pressure points for me. But anyway, point being, these do not give me any hot spots. As you can see from the close-ups, it's really stretching nicely on this outside, and it's giving me, if you can see how it's like coming out where the widest part of my foot is, that is a really good sign for me. And there was also pretty good amount of stretch in this area as well. If you can see the upper as well, super, super nice on feet. And there you go. On feet, these look so good. I absolutely love how they fit and feel. I think they're an exceptional pair of football boots. They're so soft. They do actually remind me quite a lot of the Phantom Ultras. I just got done reviewing the pink ones. They're sitting right over there actually. So, and they fit actually pretty similar to those. They're a little bit more structured, they feel like. So that's definitely something to consider if you're looking for kind of what's gonna be the one with the most lockdown. Stay tuned. I can't really talk about lockdown yet because I haven't like tried these in a session or anything, but let's see, here we go. Touch on the ball. Lovely, really, really lovely. Nice, thin, feels very Hypervenom 3-esque. Feels very GT2-esque, feels very Flyknit Ultra, Phantom Ultra-esque. That grip knit technology really does do a nice job. Like, it does feel a lot like, yeah, there's a good amount of grip as well, which is so nice. I'm just like so excited. It's also freezing, so my body's like, get out of the cold. Yeah, sole plate, really nice, super responsive, side to side actions, no issues at all. These are awesome fitting football boots, and I just think these are going to be an absolute crush hit for Nike, especially if they come out with more colorways that look like this. As you guys saw from the unboxing portion of the video, I think the swoosh inside the swoosh right here is such a cool detail, and I really love this like kind of interesting circular tiger stripe pattern up in the upper as well, and it really does provide like a unique look on feet, and I think these are going to be such a popular football boot. I can see myself wearing these full-time for, you know, training and games. I imagine that these would be a great boot to replace the Hypervenom 3s because those are getting so expensive. I actually today asked a guy, one of my boot dealer connections, who is in Germany, I believe, and I asked him about a pair of Hypervenom 3 lows in my size that I wanted to buy, and he told me they were 450 euros for a brand new pair, whereas these will sell for, you know, 215 or whatever. So if these are a good replacement for those, I am a happy boy, because holy moly, good amount of pivoting power, good amount of starting and stopping power, especially with those triangular, or those like triangular star shaped studs almost. And yeah, again, I think so. Let's talk about width a little bit. So I'm getting no hot spots. I feel a little bit snug on the outside of the foot, but no more than, say, a Phantom GT2, which you guys know I didn't really like that much, but as far as width goes, it was totally fine. It's a little bit less wide than Hypervenom Phantom 3. It's about, I would say it's almost exactly as wide as the Flyknit Phantom Ultra, excuse me. So if you fit really well into Phantom Ultra, or you think, hey, Phantom GT fits me really well, these will be perfect for you. They'll be just fine. They'll break in really nicely, or we'll see if they break in nicely. Again, I can't really talk about that until I actually have experience with the boots, but oh man, I'm just happy to be playing in them. I think they feel so good. I'm like a kid right now. I feel like a kid right now. And I just love that these are the blue, these are like the blue of my brand colors, and so I just think the pink and the white and the blue just creates such a nice look. So yeah, I didn't need it anyway. Yeah guys, that's the Phantom GX. That's the first look. I will do my best to give you guys more thoughts and more kind of concise feedback about how the boot fits and feels at the 1 month review. That tends to be kind of my gauge of actually how these fit and feel, because when you put your foot in and you're like, oh yeah, the heel liner feels good, the heel feels basically like a Phantom Ultra, a Phantom GT. It doesn't feel like anything crazy. It feels definitely better than Phantom GT in my opinion. It's very similar to Phantom Ultra, so my guess is they implemented any minor changes from the Phantom Ultra into these as well, or some design elements of that in the heel area. No slippage so far, really nice lockdown. But again, a lot of these features I'm gonna have to talk about in the 1 month review, specifically because these boots are brand new, nobody else has them. I've seen some Instagram people they've shown up on some Instagram, but I managed to get a pair, and I'll actually be testing them in training sessions, which will be really unique hopefully for you guys. So if you do enjoy this type of like pre-release content, hit that like button, it really helps the channel, and subscribe if you haven't already. And yeah, we'll get some more thoughts in about a month's time from the release of this boot review. And as always, be awesome, take care. I'll see you guys in the next video.